Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at a band I've heard the name of before, but I've never actually looked at any of their music, and it's the band Heidevolk. Probably pronounced that wrong. If I have, I apologise. Anyway, now I say I've heard of them before, but I've never actually checked out their music, so as is my norm, I have to do a little bit of research to find out a little bit more about the band. And what I can tell you is Heidevolk is a folk metal band from the Netherlands. The lyrical themes of their music are inspired by nature, the history of Gelderland, and Germanic mythology. Most of their lyrics are in Dutch, however, they have done one or two English tracks and a couple of covers also in English. Now, today I'm going to be looking at a track called Wederkeer. Again, probably pronounced that horrendously badly, and as I understand it, this means the return. I do have an English translation for the lyrics here. Not sure how accurate they're going to be, but you know, apparently the person who translated them does speak Dutch fluently. From the look of the actual lyrics, there's not actually that many, so I don't know exactly how long this song is. So it's a folk metal band from the Netherlands, and this is interesting. I don't think I've ever actually covered a band from the Netherlands on here before. I think I've done Swedish, I think I've done Danish, you know, and I've definitely done Finland, you know, and I think I've done Norwegian as well. I don't think I've ever gone to the Netherlands, you know. I say that because they're roughly in the same place, I think. Geography's not my strong point. So, yeah, this is the first time I've actually looked at a band from the Netherlands, I think. So, anyway, we'll jump into this and see what we've got. So, Wederkeer by Heidevolk. Let's have a look.
geworteld, onbereikbaar voor het langste zwaard.
There we go. Wederkeer by Heidevolk. I quite liked it. You know, it was much more folk than metal. You know, I'd like to actually hear some of their more metal-sided music. So if anybody knows of a track of theirs that I might enjoy, or that they think I should definitely look at by this band, please let me know. Because I'd like to hear the more heavier side of this band. But as far as this track itself goes, you know, had a very sort of traditional folk music sound to it, and you know, it was very well performed. Their voices together sounded amazing. You know, they had really good harmony going on in there. Sounded brilliant. Now, like I said, there isn't actually much in the way of lyrics per se, and there are a couple of little annotations along with the translation that I've got here. And what I've got is longing for the victory march beneath the banners of the fatherland, fighting as always for glory, believing in the return. Now, in the translation here, they've actually written motherland, but in the actual Dutch lyrics, it's written vaderland. And apparently in the Netherlands, they use fatherland rather than motherland. So why they translated it to motherland, I don't know, but that's the way it is, because they said fatherland. And it says here, believing in the return. There's a little note here, and it says the actual track itself has a slight religious overtone in Dutch, and believing in the return, they suggest could mean a sort of spiritual return, like sort of thing, rather than, you know, going home possibly. But that's what they've said. Anyway. With reckless belligerence anchored in our beloved land, spearmen at the top of the limestone, the Carnix sounds from across the other side. Now here where it says spearmen at the top of the limestone, that there's the assumption here possibly talking about limestone cliffs, possibly, you know, standing atop the limestone. Because there's a word here, krijt, I believe it's pronounced, or krijt. Anyway, it apparently translates to either limestone or chalk. So, you know, he's either spearmen are either standing atop limestone or chalk. Either way, it's assumed that this is like, for example, the White Cliffs of Dover. For example, you know, big white limestone or chalk cliffs. And the Carnix is a Iron Age wind instrument, used by the Celts, I believe, around 200 BC, I believe. So, you know, it says the Carnix sounds from the other side, so, you know, they can hear the call of this sort of flute, if you will. It says from the other side. Now, does that mean from the other side, like the opposing army, or does it mean the other side, such as the afterlife? Who knows? Because, you know, they're talking about a return, as it were. Robbed of our beliefs and pride, life has become worthless to us. Our power is rooted deeply, unreachable to even the longest sword. So, our power is rooted deeply, you know, it's unreachable by even the longest sword. So, the root of our power is so firm, so steadfast, and so strong that even the most powerful weapon cannot touch it. You know, it can't break it. It will never be destroyed. You'll never even lay a hand on it because, you know, there's no way you can't touch it. You know, it's, you know, you can't break our will. You can't break our power. You can't break our beliefs. You know, nothing you do will ever break it. So, yeah. It sounds like it almost sounds like a prayer sort of thing, and maybe a sort of hymn of sorts. You know, and excuse me, like I said, I think it sounded really, really good. You know, like I said, their voices came together, sounded brilliantly. You know, it was very minimalistic in music itself, but it still sounded nice. And like I said at the beginning, I'd like to hear some of their heavy stuff, you know, because they're described as folk metal, but of course there was no sort of real metal elements within that piece of music. So, you know, I'd like to hear something else by them, possibly, you know, on the heavier side. So, you know, if anybody has a track they would like to suggest for that, please let me know. You know, I'm very interested to see what they sound like outside of this track. But I don't really know what else I could say on that. You know, it was a good piece of music. It sounded really good. Like I said, the voices came together, sounded really good. And, you know, musically, even though minimalistic, it sounded great. So, yeah, I like it. But, yeah, can't really think of anything else I can say on that. So, I'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and maybe even subscribe if you're not. Because at the moment, I think only 10% of people watching my videos are subscribed. You know, it only takes a couple of seconds. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, you know. And it would really, really help the channel out because, you know, at the moment, practically nobody's liking or commenting my videos, and they're sort of getting lost in the mix of everything that's being posted. You know, I've had people telling me, you know, it's taken them like 3 weeks before they've actually had one of my videos recommended to them, you know. But, you know, that's what it is. So, you know, if you could like and subscribe or what have you, you know, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, there's nothing more I can say on that, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Speelballen aan de top van het krijt. Er kan niks klinken.